Hey, yo, what's going on, guys? What's going on, Jacob? Yesterday was a cookout. Yeah, man, that was a good day. What's going on, Wilder? What's going on, Young Jack Zip? Warren? What's going on, guys? Rhythm, Brandon, Derek. Do you like Bledsoe? Yeah, Bledsoe's a great play, of course. I think he's going to be fairly chalky. Manny, Jacob, Devontae, Gavin, Chris. What's on? Thoughts on go? Yeah, I don't remember blocking you, man. But what's your name? DFS Late Scratches. Yeah, I'll get you after this. What is going on, guys? Bledsoe, a no go for me. Yeah, I mean he's been a lot better as of late. His price has dipped significantly because of those weird games that we discussed over these past couple or over the past week or so. Massive against the Suns, it's just hard not to like him, especially at his price points on both sides, 6.5K on DraftKings and over on FanDuel, 7.4K. He's not a must play for me by any means, but I think he's definitely a solid play. Thoughts on Gobert tonight? I mean, I there's no way I'm gonna play him on DraftKings against or on FanDuel for 10.3K when Jokic is only $900 more. But on FanDuel or on DraftKings where he's only 7.9K, it's hard not to like him. The only thing that takes me off of him is Alex Len and Powell are such better plays point per dollar, and guys like Bam Adebayo and Kelly Olynyk, that value might open up as well. Yeah, Favors is yeah, he's a bit too expensive for me. It is nice that he's playing New Orleans, who plays so many bigs at all times. Okafor should be doubtful, so it's most likely going to be Diallo, Randall, Anthony Davis questionable as well. Don't know what's going on with that, but if he misses or not, I think Derek Favors. His minutes were a bit inflated last time just because Gobert just got absolutely shit on by the Bucks and got run off the court. And Favors had a boost in minutes at the five, but for 5.8, yeah, I don't think I really like it that much. Kelly and Bam, no Whiteside. Is Whiteside ruled out? I haven't got that news yet. If Whiteside's ruled out, Adebayo and Olynyk are probably like the biggest locks on the slate. Yes. Love Doncic tonight. Bledsoe on DK, yeah, he's fine. Love Bam and Len at center today. Yeah, it's hard not to. Yeah, we're still waiting for that tragic and Whiteside news. Yeah, like I said, if Whiteside's out, I don't mind playing Olynyk and Bam Adebayo. Mitchell or Russell, FanDuel GPP. I'm gonna take Mitchell there. I mean, over the past month, his fantasy rates has been through the roof. Russell, his minutes are going to start to take a hit. His assist percentage is going to take a hit, and I assume his usage as well, just because Spencer Dinwiddie's also back now, and he played 24 minutes. If he continues to play 24 plus minutes with LeVert back as well, it's hard for me to like D'Angelo Russell at these prices. This price is going to have to dip a bit more. D Wade an okay pick. Yeah, I love Dwayne Wade today. Actually, I don't have it off the top of my head. But yeah, without Dragic and Tyler Johnson, all these guys off the court, Dwayne Wade still has like a 30+% usage rating, assist percentage over 30%. And in games that are competitive, he plays 28 to 30 minutes. So if Dragic misses this game again, I really like Dwayne Wade at 5,000 on DraftKings. A bit pricey on FanDuel. And the fact that Justice Winslow, so like I had a pretty strong take that I liked Wade more than Justice Winslow last time, and it looked like it was going to be fine, but Wade ended up starting 0 for 8 and then made his last 4 shots. It was a rough start for him, and then the game blew out, so he only played 22 minutes. But I think him and Justice Winslow are great picks today, especially if Dragic is out. Only if Dragic is out. I only like Winslow if Dragic is out, but I like Dwayne Wade regardless. But I expect Dragic to be out. He was out for 2 months before coming back not too long ago. So, but it was an easy lock, not a better narrative than that. Yeah, it's a pretty good narrative if you like narratives. What pay-up option you like besides Doncic? It's probably LeBron James today, averaging 1.54 fantasy points per minute, or 1.51 fantasy points per minute on the season, 1.54 since the All-Star break. Giannis is averaging 1.81 fantasy points per minute over the past month. It's a tough decision between those guys, but the only difference is, and the reason I side with LeBron James is the minutes, and they're trying to make the playoffs right now, and they're plus 600 to make it, so it's kind of desperation time. So I think LeBron James is going to continue to play these 40 minutes a game, which is enough to give me give him the edge over Giannis today. And I don't mind pairing him with Luka Doncic at all. But yeah, Luka is my favorite player. Favorite stud on the slate, point per dollar. Trae Young, yeah, I don't mind him, especially with John Collins supposed to be doubtful. Again, it's a tough matchup against a Miami team. It's a pace down spot, which is kind of obvious since Atlanta is the second fastest team in the league. So any game's going to be a pace down spot, but traveling to Miami. But his price is just too expensive at 9.3K. I can't get behind it, especially with Luka right there. I guess in GPPs, he's worth a shot. But even then, I think his ownership is going to be a bit inflated just because of recency bias. I feel like we're going to get Luka at relatively low ownership, and I'm very, very excited for that. Thoughts on Harrell? Yeah, he hasn't been producing as well because at the beginning of the year, he had these insane fantasy point per minute rates. They were up to like 1.3. Now they're sitting at like 1.15, and he's been so-so the last couple of games. But this is the exact matchup you want him in against a fast-paced Lakers team who likes to play Kyle Kuzma at the 5. So another undersized guy, and the Clippers won't have to go to a guy like Stuber. And just for his size, so Montrezl Harrell at 6.3K. It's hard for me not to like him. Yeah, it's a pretty good play today. I don't mind his price on either side either. FanDuel's all right as well. Willie Cauley-Stein or Lopez? I'll go with Willie Cauley-Stein. Yeah, we saw last time with Bagley out. There was growing concerns for me the more I looked into the Kings' rotations with Harry Giles. He only played 60 total minutes all year at the 4. And with Willie Cauley-Stein playing 32 minutes, he only ended up getting 16 minutes on the 4, so he's not that great of a play. And I think some people are on him. I know it's priced; they moved its price up to 4.1K, but we'll stay away from Harry Giles. And I think Willie Cauley-Stein continues to get these 32, 33 minutes, which I think is a great play especially against New York. But there's just so many other better options at center, like Alex Len, Adebayo, Olynyk. I think they're way better plays. Kuzma or Ingram? I'll go Ingram. Ingram's minutes have been just like through the roof. And actually, he's been the second best fantasy producer on the Lakers since the All-Star breakout, just behind LeBron James. Rondo, Olynyk, or Beverly Adebayo? I'm going to take Rondo, Olynyk, but it's going to be tough. You're going to have to wait till that last game because if Rondo doesn't get the start, we saw that his minutes got cut back last time, only played 26 minutes, opposed to the 36, 38 minutes he was playing games previously when he was getting those starts. So if he starts, I love Rondo, but if he doesn't, I don't like him very much at all, and that is the last game of the slate. So FanDuel, unless we get that starting lineup, it looks unlikely that I'm going to get much Rondo outside of GPPs, but on DraftKings, I think you can kind of wait and try your luck doing that. I mean, yeah, it would be a smash spot for Rondo if he started. Yo, if you guys enjoy these, please drop a like. It means a lot. Subscribe if you haven't already. DeAndre Bembry, yeah, I don't mind him with Taurean Prince being out due to the birth of his child. I think that Bembry and Bazemore get a huge boost in their minutes. But again, it's a tough matchup on the road against Miami. I think his price tag at 3.5K on DraftKings is fine. I would just much rather pay like 1.4, 1.5K more for a guy like Dwayne Wade or Kent Bazemore in that same game. Trier or Bazemore on FanDuel? Bazemore for sure, 100%. Rondo or Alfred? Yeah, I mean, it's like an impossible matchup for these Pelicans. It's a tough one. And it's something you're going to have to wait to see with the starting lineup. I mean, if Rondo doesn't start, I would never play him. But if he does start, I do like him way more than Alfred. Pat Connaughton and Rubio or Wade and Diallo. That's another thing. I'm going to go with Pat C and Rubio, but if Anthony Davis is ruled out, I think Diallo has a pretty easy track to playing 26, 28, or 24, 26 is probably more reasonable minute prediction for him. But still, he's averaging over a fantasy point per minute at 4.1K on DraftKings. I like him quite a bit. But as of now, I'd probably go with Pat and Rubio. Who would you pivot to on DK if Rondo doesn't start? Probably Bogdanovich. Well, if you have like a guard or utility spot open, and that's where you're using Rondo, which is where you should be doing it just because he is playing in the latest game of the evening. Do you like Lou Will or someone better? Yeah, I like Buddy Hield quite a bit. I like him more than Lou Williams. I think Lou Williams is an okay GPP play, but for cash games and even GPPs, I prefer Buddy Hield. But if you're building multiple lineups, you could throw in some Lou Will. That's definitely fine. That game should be pretty high scoring. What is the total in there? If I can find it. Jones still below 4K on FanDuel chalk. No, I don't think he's going to be chalk. I think he's definitely a good punt on FanDuel. And actually, the lineup I'm building right now, I have Derek Jones in there right now. Assuming that Dragic and Whiteside both miss, then in that case, I think Derek Jones is a fine punt. But the fact that James Johnson is back kind of takes away from his minutes. Wouldn't play him on DraftKings, but like you said, on FanDuel, yeah, he's a good punt. What's going on, Peter? Give me a good point guard tonight, please. Luka Doncic, man. Holiday or Hield? Yeah, so I really don't know what's going on with the Pelicans. That's why they're almost strictly GPP plays for me. We kind of saw Alvin Gentry pull the rug out from under us the other day when I was suggesting the Pelicans because the 9 games previously since Anthony Davis came back from his injury or trade rumors and stuff like that, we saw Holiday and Randall playing upwards of 38, 40 minutes, and then they ended up playing them like I think Randall played 26 minutes and Holiday only played 31, even though Anthony Davis continued to only play 20 minutes. But I think if Anthony Davis is out, I think then I like Randall and Holiday more, and I think they're viable for cash games in that instance. But if Davis is back, they're more just GPP plays for me because I have no idea where the minutes are at on either of the players. It's just tough to predict right now. I don't know what's going on with it. Can you rank WCS, Len, Powell, Zubac? Okay, so the point per dollar is probably going to be Len, Powell, Willie Cauley-Stein, and Zubac. Okay, to fade LeBron and cash, I think it's fine. Just because you can get a really, really good play in Luka Doncic for just 9.1K. I think it's fine. Shai Gilgeous, good pick. I mean, his minutes are back. If he's going to continue to play 30-plus minutes in competitive games, I think he's a fine play at 3.8K on or 3.9K rather on DraftKings, and then on FanDuel, where is he? He's 4.3K. Yeah, it's a great matchup against the Lakers pace-up game. Lakers really aren't the worst team defensively, but he played 32 minutes against Sacramento, and if you look at the popcorn machine in that game versus New York, he was on pace to play 30-plus minutes again if the game blew out. So, or if the game didn't blow out. So if he continues to get this many minutes, I like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander quite a bit. Brogdon or Bazemore? Probably take the savings on Bazemore. Bogdanovich or Brogdon? Bogdanovich for sure, man. This matchup just really doesn't get any better, and I think you can easily project him for 36 minutes this game, at least 34, 35 minutes, averaging like 1.1 fantasy points per minute as of late. Really like Bogdanovich. And his price really hasn't adjusted that much on DraftKings. He's priced probably on FanDuel at 6.8K, but on DraftKings, yeah, I like him quite a bit. Who are your value picks on FanDuel, 6K and under? Who can get 40-plus fantasy points? Wait, what did you say, 6K? Yeah, 6K and under. I mean, depending on the Whiteside news, I think Adebayo and Olynyk can definitely get there. Alex Len, even at 3.7K, I think he could get there, especially if he I'm assuming that John Collins gets the he's going to be sidelined again with that illness just because he was downgraded from questionable to doubtful, missed last game. And we saw last game, they started Alex Len at the 5 and then went Dedmon at the 4. So it's a pretty similar matchup against Miami like it was against Chicago. So, yeah, I like Alex Len quite a bit. I think he has a ton of upside on both sides for that price. DSJ or take the savings from Moutier and spend the 2K elsewhere. Yeah. So with the Knicks situation, how I'm handling it moving forward, I'm just not going to play them in general. But if I were to play them, it would be in GPPs, and then I would just take chances on the cheaper ones because they typically just run with the hotter hand or just whatever Fizdale feels like doing. So I would take the savings with Moutier for sure. Booker, Drew, or De'Aaron Fox. I'll probably go with – that's close. I'd probably just take my chances with Drew there. I'll play next if you hate money. Favorite play on Atlanta? Yeah, Alex Len. And I think I would love Dedmon. I think Dedmon's a great play today, but he's just entirely too expensive now. They rose his price too much. And I like Kent Bazemore quite a bit. Trae Young is worth a look in GPP, I guess, but would much rather have Luka Doncic. Generally, would you go power forward center from both teams, Len and Bam or Kelly? Yeah, I think it's fine to play both of them because, I mean, they're so depleted now. And without Whiteside, they both are always going to play 30-plus minutes, especially in this matchup. I mean, people are kind of overrating the matchup against Atlanta. While it is a super, super fast-paced game, they are pretty good on bigs and are one of the better rebounding teams in the league. But now without John Collins, they could struggle a bit. But with Len and Dedmon on the floor, I don't know. It's the match or the rebounding matchup for Olynyk and Adebayo is nearly as good as people think, but I think they perform well regardless. Who's your top 3 under 4K guys? Depends on what side you're talking about. DraftKings, it's probably like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and it might just end right there. It's trying to bring up my locks, dude. I don't mind Alex Len, of course, at 4K. Yeah, he's 4K. And then I don't mind Dirk Nowitzki. If he continues to play 24, 25 minutes, I think he's fine at 3.2K. I think he's definitely worth a punt if you're going super, super top heavy with your lineup. Okay, to pair Bam and Powell together on FanDuel, for sure. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now. I'm looking at Bam and Powell or Bam and Olynyk. That's what I'm looking at right now. Yeah, I mean, I guess Derek White is in play. I can't believe the Spurs are 1-point favorites. I'm actually going to look because I looked at that earlier, and that was pretty crazy. I'm going to see if anything's changed. But that game should be competitive, and Derek White has been really, really good lately. I don't mind White. James Johnson's a bozo for sure. Favorite play of the day, Luka Doncic. Beverly called the Clips the best team in LA. Can't wait for this one. I mean, I don't think he's wrong. It's kind of crazy. Okay, to play Doncic, Powell, and Dirk. Yeah, because I think Doncic probably the best point per dollar stud on the slate. Then Powell, it's going to be pretty chalky, and he's a great play nonetheless against this Brooklyn team, who's second worst team in the league in terms of rebounding. And then Dirk is just a 3.2K punt, which I think if he continues to get 20 fantasy points, definitely viable. FanDuel point guards besides Shea. I mean, I don't mind Bledsoe, Rubio. You can take a shot on Rondo. It's going to be risky because if he doesn't get the start, he's going to be a shit play. But and I hope he doesn't start because I'm pretty high on LeBron already as it is. So if LeBron's playing point again, I like that quite a bit. Would also be a boost to guys like Brandon Ingram. Connaughton, Bazemore, or Hoarder on FanDuel. Bazemore pretty easily for me. Middleton or J. Rich. I'll probably take Middleton regardless. J. Rich gets a big boost if Dragic and Whiteside are out, but it's probably Middleton regardless. Connaughton or Trier. I'll take them somewhat more secure minutes in Connaughton. And this game really should blow out. I know I don't really like predicting blowouts, but this is one of the games that could easily do so. It could be some extra minutes for a guy like Pat Connaughton. Why wouldn't he start? They were on a back-to-back. Nah, it's just that's not even the reason. It's just mostly because his minutes got cut last time to 26 minutes. He's been playing. Him on the court has been bad for them. They're trying to win. They should probably continue to run LeBron James at the point like they were doing before, and it was working out. Powell or Olynyk? Yeah, that's a tough one. It's tough. You probably got to go with Olynyk there. Okay, so you like Bogdanovich. I love Wade Bogdan, especially if Dragic is out with some LeBron and Powell. Yeah, I like that quite a bit, John. Connaughton over Bembry. Yeah, I'll take Connaughton. Yeah, Bledsoe tonight. Yeah, he's going to be pretty popular. Bam for the win, yeah. I mean, if Whiteside's out, yeah, he's probably the best play on the slate, especially on FanDuel. He's just way too cheap over here at 5.5K. I mean, realistically, even in this matchup, he should be 7K plus, but at 5.5K, I like it quite a bit. D-Wade or Mirotic, thoughts on Mirotic? D-Wade's just a way better fantasy producer at this point because especially if Dragic and Whiteside are out, it's just even more of a boost to Wade, 30+% usage rating and assist percentage, averaging 1.2 fantasy points per minute with those guys off the court, opposed to Mirotic, who's kind of lost in the shuffle of all those Bucks. He is off that minutes limit, but they should probably both of them will play similar minutes. And Whiteside, I think, or Wade has the better matchup in my opinion. Both teams poor defensively, but the pace up spot for Miami is a lot better than a pace down spot against the Suns. I got Chuck Yeller and Randall in my line right now because I honestly feel like since they reported 86, any excuse to sit him, I bet he sits. My gut says, but guess I'll have to rework if he does play. Yeah, no, I definitely expect. I personally think that Anthony Davis is going to sit just because. Yeah, like I said in my video earlier, they want any reason to not play this guy and preserve him because if he got injured, their team would be absolutely fucked for years to come if he had a serious injury. So if he comes up on the injury report with an illness, I don't know why they would play him. But he did go through shoot around like normal today, so we're going to have to wait and see. It's one of the later games of the day. So for FanDuel's sake, I don't know if we'll get that news in time. It's an hour and a half after lock. Favorite DK center 6 to 8K, probably Montrezl Harrell, point per dollar. Would you pair Ingram or Kuzma with LeBron? Ingram, personally. Bogdan Hield stack? Yeah, for sure. I like it. You like Giles at all? No, I talked about it a bit earlier and last live stream where they were on when Bagley was out. He's really just going to take the backup center minutes away from Willie Cauley-Stein. He was playing tremendously well last game but ended up only playing 16 minutes because they don't want to play him at the 4. He's only played 60 minutes at the 4 all year. Thoughts on Rondo? Yeah. If he's starting, he's an amazing play. If he doesn't start, don't want him at all. Pau Diallo or Olynyk if Whiteside is out to pair with Bam. Yeah, it's close. I'll probably take Olynyk as well. What kind of contest do you suggest playing? Single entry? I mean, like if you're a tournament player and first of all, it doesn't matter if you're a cash game player or a GPP player. Yeah, you should be entering single entries on both sides. FanDuel really doesn't offer that all that much. I mean, rarely they do, but if they do, I suggest getting into the single entry ones. And especially for tournaments, unless you're like a multi-enter GPP player. I always suggest single entry or 3 max is fine. Kind of love how you can play Ingram at point guard tonight. Yeah, I mean, he's a pretty solid play. I like him quite a bit. LA stack tonight. It really depends on the starting lineup. If McGee gets the start, I think he's a pretty good play just because his price has dropped so much on DraftKings. I think regardless of the starting lineup, I think LeBron and Ingram are great plays. And then you can start it with, and then you can add a third with Rondo or JaVale McGee, whoever starts. Don't like Pat Connaughton? No, I mean, I don't mind him at all. We saw before, so one game it was Bledsoe was out, and so Giannis was out, and so he got 25 minutes. Or he got 35 minutes. Oh, Jesus, I can't even speak. I'm looking at the wrong numbers. Regardless, Pat Connaughton, I think he's a fine play. I think he plays 24 to 26 minutes with everyone healthy. It's a good matchup against the Suns. And if the game blows out, I think he's gets a bit of a boost in minutes. Lena lock, yeah, he's pretty close to a lock on both sides. I expect him to start at the 5 and Dedmon to start at the 4 again. I'm assuming that Collins is going to be out. He's doubtful right now with that illness. Bridges from the Suns for value. I don't mind him at all. Yeah, no, I'm saying Connaughton's, you can project him for 24 to 26 minutes, even if the game is competitive. And so if the game blows out, he could get upwards of 30 minutes, which I think would be pretty solid play. Still extremely cheap. Is it just me or do cash games have GPP scores now? Yeah, I mean, there's just so much information and so much groupthink. It can work for you. It can work against you. I talked about it a bit the other night with DeLon Wright versus Avery Bradley, which if you crunch the numbers and really looked into it, Avery Bradley was probably a better play than DeLon Wright. And even if you disagreed and you thought they were about the same, there's no reason DeLon Wright should be 70% compared to Avery Bradley's 10 to 15%. Just don't get caught up in that group thinking. Sometimes you just need to think for yourself. And I think that's one of the reasons why the cash game scores are so high and so similar to the GPP lines now. How about an LA stack? Yeah, I like it quite a bit. Favorite small forward not named LeBron? Yeah, it's rough. Very, very rough. I don't mind Ingram, but he's 8,000. It's probably going to be Justice Winslow if Dragic is out there at 6.5K. I like him quite a bit. Yeah, Ingram's pretty expensive on FanDuel. I think I would much rather prefer Justice Winslow for 6.5K. Yeah, Ingram on DK is a great price. Barnes thoughts? Yeah, Barnes is a very, very solid play on both sides, especially on DraftKings where he's 5.1K. He's playing upwards of 38, 40 minutes. And now that Bagley's out, he's going to continue to play those minutes at the 4 because they want to play small. They want to play Barnes at the 4 with Bogdanovich out there as well. And they're not playing Giles out there. And Bielitsa, while he's back in the rotation, he's still only going to play 10, 12, 14 minutes. But the minutes is just – it's hard for him not to do well in the minutes given, especially in such a good defensive matchup in the New York Knicks. I'm playing Powell and Lent on DK for center. Yeah, I don't mind it at all. I wish Powell was power forward and center eligible. I can never get Barnes right. Every time he is in a good spot, he always wants to be on the fuckery. Yeah. I mean, he's not a great player by any means. I don't think he's a talented player. But if he's going to continue to get these minutes, it's hard to ignore. Thoughts on Buddy Hield? Yeah, I love Hield. How much does line movement influence when you're stuck between players? Quite a bit. I'm a pretty big Vegas guy, and looking at the line movement, see where the sharp money is at. So especially if I'm stuck between like a 1v1 or something, I typically look at the line movement and what the totals are of those games. Rondo and Locke, if he starts, yeah, he's pretty close to one. A good pivot off Rondo if he doesn't start. Assuming just like a common strategy, if you're waiting for news on a later player, put him in the guard spot or the utility spot, and then you could get off of him and play a guy like Bogdanovich who plays just 30 minutes before him, and Bogdan's an amazing play. If Giannis is out, who are you locking? I mean, everyone. Bledsoe, Middleton, really everyone. Mirotic, Pat Connaughton, I think they're all good plays. It's all good, John. I mean, I think Teague was a great player. I really wanted to be overweight in that game, and for a good reason. I mean, that game hit the over pretty easily. Schroeder just did really well, as I expected. I mean, I don't know why he was so low owned. It really just blows my mind. He's going to continue to play those 30-plus minutes with Paul George out. In a relatively good matchup against Memphis. They're not the best defensive team with all these guys out and Gasol gone. It is a pace-down spot, but Schroeder was one of my favorite plays of the day yesterday. Pat, a lock if Giannis is out. Yeah, pretty close. Thoughts on Diallo? Yeah, I love Diallo. If Anthony Davis is out, I'm assuming Okafor is pretty much already ruled out. He's doubtful. But I would love Diallo if Anthony Davis was out. Winslow or Ingles? Take Winslow. You think Whiteside's out? Yeah, I don't think they play. But this is the first game of the slate, so I don't really have to speculate. I can just wait until the news comes out. But all right, guys. Yeah, I'm going to start cutting these a bit short moving forward to just like 30 minutes rather than an hour. Want to keep most of the information for our members in the private stream 30 minutes before lock. I'm going to be in the Slack chat. I'm talking about some more of my favorite plays up until lock. So best of luck, guys. If you guys enjoyed these live streams, please drop a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. But yeah, best of luck and peace.